Darren Cole.
It's both of us. We are here. Just want to let y'all know how we met. Like, the man that God had for me, which I didn't even know it at first. So we just want to tell y'all like how we met and how everything went down. So we're excited to kind of tell our story, right? We're excited to kind of tell our story and how everything went. So pretty much, I'm gonna let him tell his side, then I'm gonna tell my side. We're not gonna give you like the whole dramatic part of everything, but we're gonna let y'all know how everything went down. Okay? If you want to hear it, stay tuned. 1, 2, ready, let's go.
Okay, so 2010, I was going to the AIM convention, the Church of God of Christ AIM convention. 2010, it was in North Carolina, Charlotte was the city. My first time going, I went with a mentor of mine, and so I went to various events. I went to some of the services, went to some of the classes, musician classes and things like that. And then there was this drill team and step show ministry competition that was going on there. And I went, checked it out, and then several groups came, and I thought it was awesome. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then there was an intermission. Somebody said intermission. But there was an intermission, and so these dancers, they looked really professional. I'm like, okay, halftime show or something. And so it was called Diamond Praise Dancers. And that's when I first saw Liz, to be honest with you. I saw her, and immediately, like, when I saw her, when I saw you, I was like, something in me, like, was like, okay, that's me. That's me. Like, I saw myself in her. I'm like, wow, there's another person in my age that is not ashamed to really show God that, she loves him, and I was like, wow. But it was more than that. Like, I've seen other people in ministry around my age as well, but it was something on the inside that resonated with me, that I saw myself in her. I saw, I was like, and I told myself out loud, I was sitting by myself in the background, I was like, I don't know who she is, but whoever she is, whoever that is, she's gonna be my wife one day. That's my wife. And that was after I had gave my life to the Lord. I just got filled with the Holy Ghost. I tarried for that, for the Holy Spirit. That was my summer of my senior year of high school going into college. It was the summer before I went to college. So my clarity was on point, what I'm saying? My clarity, I wasn't, convoluted and clouded. My judgment wasn't clouded by a lot of stuff. So, that's, and that was that, and then, of course, I went to college, saw other things, got distracted, clowned around, goofed off, you know what I'm saying? But every other year, I would go to AIM, and I would always go to the competition just to see her. And she was there faithfully. I knew she would be there every single year. So there were different years I would go. I mean, Tampa, Florida. There were some other places that it was. Tampa.
Ohio. They had Ohio. Birmingham. Quite a few places.
Yeah. So I didn't go every year, but the few years that I went, like, I would see her there all the time. So 2017, I had just gotten out of a relationship. I was engaged. Some of you guys may know this already, but I was previously engaged. 2016, I didn't go too well. So 2017, I went to AIM. This time, I actually went with a good friend of mine, a brother of mine, and we went. And he went to a Young Men Purpose class. I went to the musicians class, and I remember.
I'm in a Valor.
Young Men of Valor.
I think it's Young Men of Valor.
I said Purpose?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so I went with my friend, and so he went to that class, and I remember, like, when I came out of the musicians class, it's like, hey, what'd you learn? He's like, oh man, they talked about, finances and confidence and approaching women with confidence, and you want to get one shot. And I'm like, and this is coming from a guy who he's not really, like, he wasn't confident at that time. Like, he was talking like me. I'm the one who read the book. Like, okay, so my brain hatched an idea. I said, okay, how about we meet tomorrow, at the same time, same location. You're gonna fuel me again with all of this, this stuff. And I'm gonna use that energy to go approach Liz. And we agreed on it. Why did I need that? Because They rolled around in posses at AIM, 16 deep. Okay.
It was like,
yeah.
Maybe like 13 it was.
13.
Maybe like 13.
Yeah. Well, in 2000, yeah. It felt like an army, okay? And, you know, even Steve Harvey's mentioned, like, you know, one of the most difficult things for a guy to do is approach a woman when she's around her friends. You know, I needed that extra push.
Okay.
So next day happened, went to musician's class, he went to his class, met up with him. All right, this is your moment, it's your chance, it's your opportunity. Get it, don't let it drop. You only get one shot, do not miss a chance to blow the opportunity, come once in a lifetime. You know, she was over there stretching, doing her leg lifts and stuff. They were stretching and all this other stuff, like they about to beat up somebody. And so I started making steps towards her. Okay, looked around, looked back, Aretha was still there. You know, took a few more steps. Looked back, he was still there. He was just coming. I took a few more steps right before I got close to it. Looked back, he was going. Okay, he was going like Batman, like they be doing in superheroes. They just be going. He was going. I was like, all right, he did his job. He did his job. So I said, hello, my name is Darren, and she said,
hi, my name is Liz.
yes. And I said, hi, I want to know my heart at this point was like, you know, a little beaten, like for real. I was like, do you want to know if I can get to know you? You know, I want to just get your contact information. I see you year after year. I just want to get to know you. And she looked me up and down and said,
I think I said, what's your name again?
I want to get to know you. Can I have your number?
I said, I asked him, do we have an email? I don't know, like just like totally like diss him, but I asked him, did he have an email? And he was like, you know.
I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, yeah, sure. An email? Wait, this is 2017. Okay, I come here year after year. I come here year after year. How would I be turned down?
I know he was like one of the crazies or anything, you blow my phone up.
So yeah, I said yes, and then we were emailing for about 2 or 3 months.
I think it was actually shorter than that.
It wasn't. Because I was getting annoyed at that point.
But then we did move to
Marco Polo.
and I think that was my idea there.
That was your idea.
Yeah, I actually did have Marco Polo, and he was like, well, Marco Polo is like it's a video app. It's not like FaceTime. It's like, okay, I record something, then it sends over to him. He records something, it sends over to me. So it's like Marco Polo. So I asked him, did he have a Marco Polo? He was like, yeah. And so I think we did we get a number before then though?
We had to in order to.
Yeah,
we changed contact info when
So yeah.
You mentioned Marco Polo, so I was just happy to get the number. Come on. Yep. 2017. That was 2017. Then I went to visit her later that year. Found out that I was not ready to be in a relationship at the time because I would still need some healing. Some healing had to be done from my past. So I kind of went ghost. Honestly, and I'll tell you why. Honestly, I felt at the time, I told her, and I told all of you, because when I went down there to see her, I spent time with her and her mom. Her mom laughed at all my jokes. She didn't laugh at any of them.
He's not gonna let this story go.
Barely any of them, okay? Barely. She was like a statue.
Who says that he was even funny though?
Mom laughed, okay? I'm like, wow, mom gets me, But yeah, so I felt bad, honestly. I felt bad because my heart was in a wreck, and I felt bad because in my mind when I was with her, I said, man, I wish I had followed my first mind and just went after her a lot sooner, because I knew that had I approached her from that at that moment, or just even after that, or I wouldn't be in this position. So part of me felt like, man, it's like, dang, it's kind of like when you see yourself. We all have struggled. At least I can say we struggle with, man, when you're somewhere right now and you could have been a lot farther had you not gotten to a relationship, or had you not gone this way or that way. You kind of kick yourself in the pants. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I was doing, and I kind of felt bad, and I went ghost, and she took it as me just, I guess, going ghost or ghosting her. So she was not really happy. So in 2018. AIM was.
That's what it was in.
Here. It was in Indianapolis. It was in Indianapolis. AIM was in Indianapolis. Saw her in the hallway, excited. I was excited to see her.
Don't overdo it.
I was excited to see her. Okay. And she came out. I was like, hey, Liz. She was like, hi. They kept walking.
I think I gave him a hug though.
No, you did not.
I think I did. I think it was just kind of like a quick hug.
It wasn't a hug. It was like, hey, I gotta keep going. You know, we're gonna go head to the next thing. I mean, it was energy. It was in July, but it felt like winter inside the convention center. Okay, it felt like the North Pole because it was really cold, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, it seems to be a misunderstanding.
But before that, the reason I did act that way was because we didn't really talk before that. Like after the fact that he kind of got ghost or whatever, we didn't really talk a lot, and so you know, my feelings was a little hurt, okay? And it was like the first dude out of a long time that I really liked that way, so I feel it was like a little hurt. But we were rushing. Now that was true. We were rushing to like the next. We had to dance at some I forget some youth event or something. So we're rushing. He was like on the side or whatever. He was like, hey, and I was like, hey, whatever. But we didn't talk a lot before then. Like before then, we didn't talk a lot. He probably texted every now and then. But I was still in my feelings, to be honest. That's why I kind of reacted like that, because we barely talked and things like that. He tried, but it was kind of like quick communication with certain things and all this other stuff. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah, so, you know, 2018 ended cold, okay? So, 2019, that was it. I knew that she was the one that I wanted to go after, I wanted to pursue in terms of marriage. And I told her, hey Liz, my brain has an idea. I want to come see you. Me and Reese, we want to come see you and your friends and hang out with you and things like that, and you know, just kind of build that relationship and things like that. Because at that point, I kind of really didn't want to enter dating alone. That makes sense. You know, people who know you best, it may say, and who love you, those who've been there for you, can say, I don't know about this one. But you spend all this time building something with this person, and you're less likely to reconsider or even consider what they're saying. So I learned not to date alone. You know, bring people in early. Not everybody. You don't bring everybody in now. But you want to bring those that you really trust, that know you. Hey, let somebody know, friends, family, somebody that you really trust. You know, so that way you know, because you want to get information. You know, we got married at I was 30, she was 30. It's 30 years of history that I don't know. I got 30 years of history that she don't know. So the best thing you can do is get to know the people that have known them, because who the person roll with is typically how they are. If you see a guy with a nice clean suit on, ladies, and he's looking fresh and he's so eloquent, all this other stuff, but who he hangs with are drug dealers and mob bosses and abusers, there's a little bit of that in him too. Don't do it. Don't do it. So asking questions and observing with these, you know, this versus, you know, this gentleman, you know, would help. So, you know, I asked her, you know, I'm gonna come hang out with you guys in Tennessee. She's like, sure. Well, she was like, sure. She was open for that. My car breaks down. Okay. All right. So I go ghost again. I do.
Again.
I don't communicate. And honestly, I didn't communicate because I'm like, okay, I'm on my own. Car breaks down. I'm not a car. But she doesn't see it. She gonna move up here for me. I can't even keep a car. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and that's real. If there are any real guys on the watching, you will understand. You know, financially, you know, yeah. Let somebody put $1 million in your bank account and see how strong you're walking. See how your walk changes. You know, when you know you have something to offer, it changes. You know, so that was something I had to grow into. You know, and I had to learn that car or no car. You know, as long as I'm, you know, putting my best foot forward, I'm working. I'm not staying at home. I'm not crying all day about the situation. I'm doing something about it. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? So that took some growth. But to her, but on her side, it was he went ghost again. It wasn't until 2020 that I'm like, okay, I got a car. Hey. So I reached out to her again and said, hey Liz. And y'all probably like, all right, y'all, I would have done the same thing to you, brother. And she was like, well, you can. I mean, but I just want you to know that I am talking to somebody. So I won't necessarily be able to hang out with you guys, but you're more than welcome to come to Tennessee.
I didn't stop him from coming. I just will let him know you can come to visit around the city, but we just won't be interacting with each other.
Well, I told her, I said, well, honestly, it doesn't make sense for me to come. I want to respect your relationship, you know, because I know why I'm coming down there. You know what I'm saying? That's to spend time with people. I know what I want, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was that. And then later on in the year, I checked up and asked her how she's doing and see if she was still in a relationship. She was like, yeah, I'm still in a relationship. I go, oh, okay, all right, fine. And then I want to say it was later. Was it 2020? Yeah. 2020. I started talking to somebody else. You know, I had tried to move on and everything, just move forward, whatever. And honestly, truth be told, I reached out to her on Thanksgiving. And
early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
It was like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and I told her how I really felt, and I knew she was still in a relationship. I did. I told her how I felt, and I only felt. I'll be honest with you. That was the first time I've ever done that. Only because I knew. God knows. Seriously, in all seriousness, God knows that I had plans to see her in 2019, but life happened. You know, I had plans to see her in 2020. She had got a relationship and things like that. I had full intention. I have it proof through text, and I'm like, okay, you know, it's either now or never. So I told her how I felt, and you know, and she was like, wow. I mean, she just said me at first, you know, but she was like, I appreciate you telling me how you feel. But it's, you know, some people. What you said.
He told me, like, he called me like early that morning, and he just like, he honestly like truly like put at his heart and things like, he just kind of told me how he felt or whatever, and I felt him. Like I felt him. I felt every word he was saying. I did. But, you know, this fact that I was still in a relationship, I couldn't really do anything about it. You know, since I was talking to him at the time, it's nothing that I could really do to respect the relationship I was in, I'll say. So I just couldn't really, I didn't want to say too much, but I didn't want to say too little, because I knew that it took, you know, how he was saying it, I knew that he meant every word of it, and I can tell. But it was kind of like one of those things like, man, I just don't really know what else to really say. Like, I don't know what else to really do at this point. Like, I really don't. I feel bad. Well, not really feel bad, but I kind of like, I appreciate him. I told him, I was like, I appreciate you for, you know, telling me. I appreciate you for just being, you know, telling me your feelings and everything like that. I was speechless. I really didn't have anything to say. Literally, I didn't know what to say. Like, I think he texted me first like, hey, are you busy? And I was like, you know, I'm about to get myself ready, because it was Thanksgiving Day. Yeah, Thanksgiving Day, so I was about to get myself ready, because we was about to travel to somewhere, I forget. We was about to go to my brother's place, one of my brother's places for Thanksgiving, so we was gonna leave at a decent time, maybe like 10, so I get up around about 6 or 7 o'clock to get myself ready. So he texted me, he was like, my business. I was like, you know, about to get myself ready. He was like, you know, can I call you? And I was like, you know, okay, that's fine, or whatever. So as he called me, talking with him, so he told me how he felt, he told me his feelings and everything like that. Yeah, so there was a call.
Yeah.
And I think that was 2020,
2020,
right?
Yep. And then 2021, and truth be told, like, you know, 2021, I was done. I was ready to settle down. I really wanted to be with her. I let her know that, and you know, at that time I was back on proud, I guess you could say. But I knew I wanted her, and I'll tell you what made me know that is when God started to bless me, you know, in my life, and things started to change, even financially and things like that in my life. And like that's when I knew like I wanted to share that with her, and that's how I knew she was the one. Because it's not necessarily when you're down and out and struggling. It's when you aren't struggling, when you do have the options to go other places, see other things, do other things, you know, meet new people, and you don't want to do that. You want to share those experiences I want to share experiences with her, you know. And it wasn't based off of looks, it wasn't based off of what I've seen, but an understanding of who she was. You know, as I got to know her over the years.
We didn't tell her back like we did talk like sporadically, like throughout time, like
did.
you know,
communication.
You know,
I messaged her and she sent me a message. She was like, you know, I appreciate our friendship and stay like that and things like that. So I appreciate if you just stop. It's the truth. I was wanting her to like, you know, get mad at me so I can cross her off, you know, make that question mark about her to a period, you know, say, okay, I've been there, I've tried it. She told me to leave her alone, so now I can, you know, go off willy-nilly and marry somebody I'm meant to marry. You know, but she just left it at that. You know, she left me on red, as you can say. So that. I was like, okay. So, but seriously, I did tell myself, I was like, okay, Lord, I told the Lord in prayer. I said, I'm gonna respect that, and that's how this will be. And then literally in February, I had a dream that she was in my dream, my mom was in my dream, and my friend Harith was in the dream. And then in the dream, she looked at me, she smiled, she waved. And in the dream, I was like, you were like, and I was like, because you told me to leave you alone. So then I woke up.
I was feeling you again.
I woke up, it was Sunday, and I texted her, I said, hey, how's everything going? Just check up on you. Honestly, I'm reaching out because I had a random dream you were in it, just saying hi. I asked her how mom and family was doing, Red was doing, and my brother. And she's like, oh, they're good. I was like, how's your relationship? Well, how's your boyfriend doing? And she's like, I have no boyfriend. I was like, oh, snap. So I was gonna text her, well, now you got a husband, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, nah, because I don't want her to think I'm trying to be a clown. But literally, that was the first thing that popped in my head. You know what I'm saying? And then the rest is history from there. So God gave me that dream because He knew two things. One, I wasn't gonna reach out to her anymore because I respected her. And He knew this one was gonna reach out to me. That wasn't gonna happen. It just wasn't. It wasn't. She wasn't gonna reach out to me. So He had to give me a dream and basically let me know the coast was clear. So
yeah, that was weird. It was weird how he knew, like well, he didn't know, but it was weird that he ended up texting me like the day after, like, you know, the day after whatever, my relationship ended. He ended up texting me like the day after, a day or two after. It was like, wow. I think it was the last time we kind of talked. It's like it slowed down all the way at that point. When I told him, I was like, you know, I'm not in a relationship anymore, and we kind of, he was like, wow, you know, things like that, and yeah, so we just kind of went on from there. It was like, was 2020, right?
2021.
2021. And so we kind of started talking, and I still wasn't sure though. Honestly, I wasn't sure with him. I wasn't sure. So it was like, he'll text me sometimes like, you know, can we FaceTime? So and I was like, you know, this, we'll probably pick a time, FaceTime or something like that. So we'll FaceTime every now and then. I remember one specific day, I was in my workroom and I was doing some work or whatever. We was actually on FaceTime. I was like working. He was, I had the phone like right here, like facing towards me. But I was like, you know, working on some stuff, doing some stuff. We were just talking. He had to actually be at work. He was like on his break. He called me after the break. So he was phone was facing towards me, and so I was feeling some stuff. He was like, Liz. He was just talking. I was listening to him. But he didn't get my attention until he was like, you know, Liz, okay, he was putting like this little brown jacket on, whatever color it was. Put his brown jacket on. He sat down in his chair, y'all. And he sat down in his chair. It felt like, I don't know what it actually was, but it felt like he set the camera, or maybe I'm just the way I'm envisioning in my head. It felt like he had the camera like sitting there like talking like this. Like the camera wasn't even in his hand, but I don't know.
It wasn't in my hand.
It wasn't in your hand?
No.
Okay, so I was right. Yeah. So he's like, put the camera somewhere like in front of him. He was like, all right, put the jacket on. I wish I had a jacket to put on. So y'all, he put the jacket on. He was like, all right. Because he had to make it work. He was about to go back to work. Put his jacket on. He was like, all right, I want to just make this. He leaned over just like this. He was like, all right, I just want to make this clear to you, pretty much. He was like, I want you to know that I really care about you. I really see you in my future. I can see you as being my wife, and I really want us to really get to know each other more on that level. You know, he was just, and it's the way he said it to me. He had all my attention at that point. First I'm like, you know, whatever. He's just talking, let me finish working and all this other stuff. When he said that, I was like, okay, all right. Now you got my attention because I can tell out of his face it was serious. It's one thing to like kind of be on the phone with somebody, but y'all, I'm telling you, when you face to face with people, or when you actually see a person's body language, it's a whole different thing. So I can tell like he was literally for real. So he had all my attention at the time. And so when he looked at me, I'm like, okay, now let's talk for real. Let's talk for real. So it's like ever since that day that we talked or whatever, we We talk often, we FaceTime often. And yeah, pretty much like I said, the rest is history. Like literally, like FaceTime was our dates. Cause he was in Indianapolis, I was in Memphis, I was in Tennessee, but he came down maybe like.
So that's one for another video.
That's one for another video.
Recording over distance.
Oh yeah, that is another one for real. But we had pretty much right. I said that is so childish. My husband needs to grow up, y'all.
No, she needs to grow up. Giggles about everything. Everything. I mean, like, really? Why are you laughing? I told her she's gonna make somebody mad one day. See, that giggle right there. Make somebody mad, it's gonna go off. And I really didn't, clarification. Ghosting is, I like the word ghosting is on purpose, okay? Mine was not on purpose, okay? I had my own issues, my own insecurities I had to work through. Some people, they ghosted me. No, maybe they just lost their grandma. No.
Well, he did tell me about
I wasn't doing her dirty.
About, you know, why he wasn't feeling it or whatever. And I realized, of course at that time I didn't realize it, but I realized that when people are going through things, you can't force them. Like people have to get through their battles on their own sometimes, of course with God. When people have like their own insecurities or own things going on within them, it's only a thing that they have to deal with and God have to deal with. So it's nothing much I can do. So I just say for anybody else, like you can't force anybody to be with you. You can't force anybody to not do this or not do that. It's like some people have to go through those different seasons in their life in order to make them, or in order to make them a better person. And I needed some help in, you know, moments in my life as well. So it's kind of one of those things that you don't want to really be in a relationship because you know there's some things that God needs, some kinks in you that God needs to straighten out. Sooner or later, just reconnected and we got to know each other more.
Yes.
And we asked each other some questions. Okay, we asked each other questions. We was honest with each other. So yeah, but anyway, that's how we met. If y'all have any other questions, let us know. We'd love to answer some questions that you all have about, you know, newlyweds and you know, things like that.
I found out after I married her.
And long distance relationships and things. I want a part two, let us know. But yeah.